Hey guys, we're back. Episode 10?
Number 10.
I'm Monops. You know this douchey little person sitting to the right of me.
That is me.
That is true. We got on deck today, my friend.
We got a lot of stuff on deck. But can we take a moment and talk about how awesome this is our 10th episode?
It is pretty sweet.
It's wicked sweet. We're getting so many people fanning the page. Like, I've never met them before. You've never met them before. They hear about it and they want to catch on. They want to catch the wave.
Because we're popular now, dude. And people want to jump on the trend, you know?
We're trendsetters.
Justin Bieber.
And can I just say, you're going out tonight.
I am.
You look awesome.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, the shirt is great.
Thank you.
The jeans are great. The jacket, even Tiffany said she likes it.
Thank you.
And
little fun fact: a year ago, I couldn't zipper that.
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
It zips great.
Thank you.
And you're competing this Saturday.
That is true. You should be competing as well, but you're a bitch.
But I've trained 3 times in the last 12 years.
Yep.
So, but no, good luck this weekend.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Your second tournament.
Yes, hopefully more successful than the first one.
Yeah, your first one, I think all you saw was the air and the ground.
Yep. Pretty embarrassing.
So let's hope for better results this time. But I even told Tiffany, I said when I was training with you this week, like, you feel no gayness here. You got to understand what we do, but you feel really good. You're tight. You're precise with your moves. You're on point. Your chokes are good. Everything. So I have a lot of faith.
Appreciate that.
I have a lot of faith.
Oh, and pat on the back.
And
wow.
I think you're going to do just great.
Thank you.
Other people who have to do great is the 4 remaining teams in the playoffs.
Absolutely. It's nice that the playoffs are already down to the
down to the final 4. You know, the first round, I didn't really see anything that was too exciting. Like, predictable winners. You saw the Yankees beating the Twins, Phillies beating the Reds. Texas and Tampa could have gone either way.
Flip. Yeah, I agree.
But then San Fran, Atlanta was also, you knew San Fran was Atlanta was hurt.
Yep, San Fran was amazing pitching too.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that. Who's the best pitcher left in the playoffs? Right now, everyone says pitching wins. That's why you always see teams go out, pay the big money for these guys. Red Sox won, they thought John Lackey was the guy. Then they locked up Beckett.
Epic Phil.
Then they locked up Beckett, and it hasn't been working out the way they wanted. So, I don't know. I think that, to me, in my opinion, I think Roy Halladay is the best pitcher, not just in the playoffs, but I think he's the best pitcher of this generation. You take Roger Clemens out of it because his stats are all skewed now. You can't really... It's tough. He was one of my favorites growing up. But I think Roy Halladay just has the best stuff. Toronto couldn't win with him because he was the only guaranteed win on that team.
Oh, absolutely.
You look at Philadelphia, I mean, you're going to win Cole Hamels starts. You're going to win
Roy
Oswalt. I mean, these are just proven guys. Halladay's got dirty stuff, too. He's thrown a perfect game this year, and then he just threw a no-hitter in the playoffs. Second person ever to do that. Which is absolutely crazy. Who do you think, Matt? Roy Halladay, Tim Lincecum, CeCe Sabathia, Cliff Lee. Who, if you have to pitch one game for the World Series, who do you take?
Out of those 4, I 100% agree with you with Roy Halladay. This is his first postseason, and he's pitching like he's been there a million times. And, another reason why he's so great is no-hitter. So like you said, second time being in the playoffs. And he no-hit the the Reds, who have a pretty potent offense with Joey Votto and Jay Bruce. So it's not like you no-hit the Pittsburgh fucking Pirates, you know what I mean?
Very true.
But I think the close second is Tim Lincecum. He had a complete game, 14 strikeouts, and a 2-hit shutout. I mean, that's nothing to whiff at, you know what I mean?
I totally agree with you. I think Lincecum, he's nasty. He's won 2 straight Cy Young Awards. He probably won't win it this year. He had 5 or 6 starts immediately after the All-Star break that he was just he wasn't himself.
Dog shit.
It was rough. San Fran, I mean, they couldn't do anything. Cliff Lee, over the last 3 years, has been such an awesome story. He came from nowhere. He was pitching in the minor leagues for the Indians when they were, mediocre.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he just turned it on. Him and CeCe made that run against the Red Sox in 2007. And then did he get traded in 2008?
He got traded in 2009.
2009.
Yep.
And then he went to Philly. Yep. And now he's doing it with Texas. John Doroti wrote in. His pick was Lincecum for the best pitcher in the playoffs. I could see it.
Oh, yeah.
I really can.
I think it's 1A.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I see that. I just really think that Roy Halladay, if I have one game, I think there was 2 games this year that Halladay had a bad start. He gave up 5 runs and then 4 runs in the next one, and like short innings too. So it's just Roy Halladay to me is the total package. He can go out there, he can throw gems. I think CC Sabathia, he's a really good pitcher too. Mm-hmm. People are making a huge deal out of his 21 wins, was it? Or 20 wins?
21?
20 maybe? Or 21 wins. People are making a big deal out of it. He's got the Yankees lineup.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, he should have had like 25.
And people can say, like, that division is really tight. This year, I mean, Yankees and Rays were in it together, like, the whole way through. I don't think that the Red Sox were really a factor after, the All-Star break.
I agree.
And Baltimore's a layup.
Why even bother?
I mean, I think the Yankees beat them, like, almost every time this year. It's just, I mean, it wasn't even that close to me. But I think Cliff Lee showing that he was doing it in Seattle.
Yep.
And then he
with
changed
a crappy lineup.
With a terrible lineup, which I don't understand, because how can they not score?
I know.
I mean, they have Ichiro over there just in the front of the lineup. He's always on base.
Sean
Figgins, like, it just, come on. It's crazy stuff to me. I don't know. I think that Halladay 1, Lincecum 2. Mm-hmm. I think Lincecum and Lee are like 2A. I don't think it's 1A, 1B between Halladay and Lincecum.
So?
I think Halladay just like leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else. Mm-hmm. And I'd go with Sabathia coming up the rear.
Yeah, I think so.
Pun intended.
I met someone the other day actually at Honey Farm. I was telling you this earlier. This crazy old dude who was randomly talking about sports and for some reason thinks that Cliff Lee is the best pitcher like basically to ever live.
To ever live?
Yeah, basically. And I was like, clearly you've never watched baseball, but that's okay.
I just don't understand. Quick little fun fact about Roy Halladay. He gave up the most hits in the league this year.
That is a pretty fun fact.
And he's still the best pitcher. He threw 250.2 innings. Mm-hmm. He walked only 30 people.
He's a horse.
250.2 innings. He had 25 double plays, and opponents only hit 173 with runners in scoring position.
That's pretty impressive.
The only reason he gives up the most hits is because he goes 8-9 innings every game.
Right.
It's just, I mean, he's the old school pitcher that you look at, the guys who would go deep into the games. Like when he pitches, you don't need the bullpen. You don't need them.
Absolutely.
So for baseball, closing out, by the way, who do you have winning the World Series?
I'm going to go sleeper and say Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers? I have the Phillies. They're my pick going in. I'm going to stick with them.
Nice.
I mean, it's such a obvious thing. Like, everyone's picking Phillies, Yankees.
I really don't want to see that World Series again, honestly.
I'd like to see Philly, Texas.
I'd like to see Cliff Lee versus Roy Halladay.
I'd love to see San Francisco. I'm not going to lie. I'd love to. I think that'd be so cool.
I would love to as well, but I don't think it's going to happen.
But I don't think so. So as a realist, I'm taking Philly. So with baseball coming to an end, final 4 teams, the NBA season's about to kick off. Hockey just kicked off, and I know you're way more excited about NBA than hockey.
I love the NBA.
A lot of stuff happened in the offseason. You still have, the things in place, Lakers in the West, Celtics. You have Miami who got better.
Yeah.
Phoenix traded for Hito Turkoglu. People don't think it's a big deal. In that offense, he's going to be a monster.
Yeah, but they also lost Amari, too. That's something.
They did lose Amari, but, I mean, what does Phoenix do? Camp out on the three-point line and Steve Nash will find somebody. That's like Hito Turkoglu's dream situation.
He's going to be a lot better in Phoenix than he was in Toronto. Absolutely.
Yeah, in Toronto, he was I would label him as a bust. After the finals and the year he had with Orlando the year before. Let's start with the easy thing.
Okay.
Do you think anybody's going to be able to challenge the Lakers in the West?
Honestly, no. The Lakers are the team in the West. The only team I can see maybe making some noise is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have Kevin Durant, who I personally think is going to be the MVP this season. They have Westbrook's a year older, Green's a year older. They have a young team that did pretty well against the Lakers in the playoffs last year, just more mature now. And I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. I think San Antonio, as much as I love Tim Duncan, I think they're just too old. Phoenix is just never going to do anything, I don't think. You need more people around Steve Nash.
I think the closest Phoenix was ever going to get was last year.
Absolutely, and they just didn't do it.
They took it to 6 against the Lakers, but the Lakers are just a better team, more deep. You know what I mean? More deep. That's great English.
Yeah. And honestly, dude, if Greg Oden can stay healthy, I wouldn't be surprised if the Blazers made
the funniest thing to me is I think that the Blazers made 2 enormous draft blunders in their life now.
Yep.
Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan.
Call him Bowie.
Bowie, whatever. And then Greg Oden over Kevin Durant.
Absolutely.
How can you be the one team and within 25 years make the same mistake twice?
They must feel really stupid.
That's like why that should just be a thing. Next time Portland has the number 1 pick, just pick the guy who was going to go second.
Yep.
Just skip over number 1. He's going to be a bust for you.
Do you know what's funny about Kevin Durant? It's not really funny, but a little fun fact. Last season, there was a sports writer who said that in 5 years, you won't be hearing that LeBron's the best player in the league or Kobe will be hearing that Kevin Durant's the best.
So he called that out before Durant had his monster breakout year last year.
Yep.
Good for that guy. I think the Lakers. So, in your opinion, nobody can challenge Lakers. Lakers are in the NBA Finals.
They made too many good acquisitions.
They just make all the right decisions.
Absolutely.
All the right decisions. One thing that I don't like about the Lakers, and I think that might hurt their chances, they've gotten to the finals without him before, essentially without him, Andrew Bynum. But everybody makes such a huge deal about Bynum. I can't stand Andrew Bynum. I don't see his direct, like, oh my God, importance. We can't win without him. You have Pau Gasol in the middle.
Most certainly win without him. And they also have Theo Ratliff as well now.
And Theo Ratliff. And I hate Pau Gasol also.
As well.
But, I mean, you put Phil Jackson 11 rings now? Yeah, 11.
Yes. I believe so.
11 rings, yeah. 10 was last year. 11, wow. Good for him. 11 rings, you got Kobe with...
It's hard coaching with Michael and Kobe, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's a tough job.
That's like saying you and I could prime time that team. So, yeah, for me, it's Lakers in the West, too. I think... I see what you're saying about the Thunder. I think they're too young, they're not experienced yet. I see them doing a first, second round bow out like they did last year. There are a couple of years. Kevin Durant's 1 or 2 years away. Russell Westbrook. You got to keep those two together for like the long haul.
Lock both of them up.
They're both like under 24, I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
You can keep those guys in their prime together for another 10 years.
Oh yeah.
And just make run after run after run. Oklahoma, like they lucked out with a really good team. I mean, I know they were a new team established here a couple of years ago, but they have an exciting couple of guys down there. Going back to the East. East is where all the big news was made.
All the excitement happens.
Let's start with... We'll be like ESPN. We'll just talk all about LeBron all the time.
Have the decision.
Does Miami have... They have Bosh, they have Wade, they have James. Do they have the other pieces that they need to make it to the finals? Not just make it to the finals, because that's not going to matter with this team. This is the first team that if you make it to the finals... It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you
have to win.
Shit, or it's just
like this is it. You have to win. Like if you're Phoenix and you make it to the finals, that's awesome. That's huge. Oklahoma City, that'd be groundbreaking for them. Orlando, when they made it 2 years ago, that was huge.
Yep.
Miami has to win it. Can they win it?
Honestly, I don't think they're going to make the finals personally. I think the Celtics is still the team to beat in the
Is this
East.
your hometown bias, or is this...
Oh, absolutely not. I just think... There's a few reasons why I say this. Reason number A, or letter A, I should say, Dwayne Wade and LeBron James already complaining hamstring problems. That is, if you're running all the time, it's not going to fucking get better. It's something you need to actually rest. And if they're out any significant amount of time, you can surround your whole team with Chris Bosh. How'd that work in Toronto? Not very well.
Very true.
If you think about it, they have 3 people and then a bunch of just crappy, old-school people that just wanted a chance at a ring.
I think, sorry to cut you off, but they did pick up Ilgauskas. I think that's right, but he's a former All-Star. He's been with LeBron. He knows how to play with LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron trusts him to get him the ball. You know what I mean? Like there are so many times you see Ilgauskas for some reason sitting on the 3-point line at one of the corners, and LeBron finds him. And he sinks it. They have a really good relationship. I remember when LeBron hit that when they made it to the championship. The first person LeBron ran up to and hugged was Z.
Yeah.
I think they do have what it takes. I think they will be in the finals. I think the Celtics are just too old. Shaq is old.
They've gotten better.
Jermaine O'Neal is old. Garnett is old. Pierce is old. Ray Allen's old. Like that's their core 5.
Disagree with you, 110%.
We'll see throughout the year. And I don't want to be a bandwagon guy. I swear to God. And I'm not rooting for Miami to make it to the finals. I'd love to see Celtics Lakers a third time. Decide who's the best team. Each team has one.
And with Shaq, dude, that'd be sick.
And with Shaq, that'd be awesome. Quickly, surprise team. Who's it going to be? Besides Oklahoma City.
Dude, I don't even know. Maybe the Knicks.
Maybe the Knicks.
Mario.
I agree. I'm going to go with Memphis.
Yeah,
I think Memphis is getting a little bit more mature every year. Marc Gasol's not a terrible player. Like Rudy Gay, they picked up Tony Allen, great defensive specialist.
OJ Mayo.
They got a good team out there. And MVP?
Durant.
I'm going Kobe. For the only fact that he's the best player in the world. And that's it. Yeah, just for that simple reason. We're going to be right back with part 2, and part 2 is pretty much going to be dedicated to one of the biggest, best UFC cards of the year.
Yeah,
And that's not 120. We'll be right back.